of animal species have been discovered, but scientists believe that there are millions more we have yet to discover. And then there are those that came and went either due to natural events or due to human beings hunting them. The animal world can be cruel, but sadly it's the humans who can say that they hunted the last of different animals to extinction. However, some of these animals were so dangerous that we can't do anything but be happy that we don't have to see them anymore. So today we are going to share with you 10 nightmarish animals that you will be happy are extinct. Number 10. Helicoprion. Beginning our countdown on number 10, we have Helicoprion. This is an ancient marine animal that swam in the oceans nearly 270 million years ago. A Russian geologist gave the extinct fish the name Helicoprion in 1899. This 6-meter-long fish had features of a shark, but with an unusual set of teeth. It is reported that the Helicoprion was twice the size of the most incredible shark ever known, so you can imagine how scary the fish would have been if it were still here. According to the fossils, the teeth are supposed to be like a buzzsaw. That is why it was given the title Helicoprion, which means spiral saw. However, these circular saw teeth were only found in the lower jaw. What's more interesting is that the upper jaw had no teeth at all. Besides that, at first, scientists thought that the Helicoprion was a shark. However, it wasn't really a shark. Are you wondering what it was? Well, Helicoprion belonged to the family of chimeras, so it was a regular fish, but more dangerous than any shark ever known. We're just glad that it doesn't live with us anymore, otherwise exploring the seas would have been terrifying. Number 9. Titanboa. On number 9, we have Titanboa. This massive snake existed about 60 million years ago. At that time, they were the worst predator on the planet. After all, the Titanboa was about 45 feet long and weighed nearly 1,200 kilograms. They are also referred to as king of the serpents and behaved like anacondas. Researchers claim that the size of this giant snake was because of the climate of that era. Since the temperature was warmer back then, the serpent's growth thrived. They make even T-Rexes look less dangerous. That is because they killed their prey by constriction. It is said that these serpents used to squeeze with about 400 pounds of pressure. That's the equivalent to getting crushed under the weight of a massive building, and even crocodiles wouldn't have stood a chance against a Titanboa. Are you scared of them yet? Because we sure are. Simply seeing the fossils of this creature scares us to death. We're just lucky that they went extinct due to climate change. Otherwise, having a Titanboa in this century would have caused great harm. Number 8. Petrocopterus decorahensis. On number 8, we have Petrocopterus decorahensis. Yes, we know pronouncing this one is a task, but don't worry. In simple words, these creatures are called gigantic marine scorpions. The Petrocopterus decorahensis was named after a Greek warship. That is because this sea creature was built like a predator. It had a paddle-shaped body to assist in swimming and was about 5 feet long. However, scientists have reported that these scorpions could have quickly grown to 6 feet as well. They swam in the deep seas about 460 million years ago and are the largest arthropod of all time. Fossils of this giant scorpion were unearthed in 2010, but it took researchers another 5 years to deduce the lineage of this critter. Experts have also said that the scorpion lived in the shallow part of the sea, inhospitable for marine animals. As if having a vast scorpion underwater wasn't enough, this creature had to occupy spaces that are considered safe for divers. One thing we can say for sure is we're glad these guys are extinct. Imagine not being able to explore various parts of the ocean because of a scorpion. Number 7. Hallucigenia fortis. On number 7, we have Hallucigenia fortis. If worms scare you to death, then you'd be happy that we don't have this creature with us. After all, this was a worm that had legs too. Yes, you heard us right. Hallucigenia fortis was an unusual worm that could walk on its feet. But guess what? They weren't simply legs, they also acted as harmful tentacles. However, there is an interesting fact that might tone down your fear. These worms were only about the size of a thumb. So if you're expecting a gigantic worm, sorry for disappointing you. Nonetheless, this insect was more complex for scientists than other animals on the list. They studied this worm for 50 years, but it wasn't until 2015 that they figured out which end was the head. Researchers also reported that the part they used also showed that the worm was grinning. If that isn't creepy to you, then we don't know what to say. Number 6. Meganeera. On position 6, we have Meganeera. This ancient creature was the ancestor of dragonflies, but unlike their descendants, this winged insect was highly dangerous. They had a wingspan of about 2 feet and were nearly the size of a large crow. Are you scared of them yet? Well, if you aren't, you will be soon. This fly existed 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous period, and it was able to grow this gigantic because of the oxygen levels during that time. So it suggested that the declining content of oxygen is why they failed to live. But if they had survived, then you would probably have preferred to stay indoors. It is reported that this fly was so large a tennis racket or something more significant would have been required to kill them. Additionally, the sting from a Meganeera was more powerful and painful than any other flying insect we know. What's so scary about this fly was that it was a carnivore, so its primary source of food was flesh, other insects, and amphibians. Number 5. Dunkleosteus. Halfway through our countdown on number 5, we have Dunkleosteus. This was an armor-plated fish that could chew through bone in just one bite. They lived 360 million years ago and were more than 30 feet long. It is reported that this species of fish was cannibalistic. That is because they used to feed on their own members. Some people also say that Dunkleosteus ate each other because of territory fights. The fossils of the fish were discovered in 1867, and the paleontologist called it a terrible fish. It's been centuries since then, yet we still don't know the exact appearance. A life-size model of its armor has been built using fossils, but we have no idea about the rest of the body. Researchers also believe that Dunkleosteus had an efficient jaw that could close in just milliseconds. It is also suggested that their armored jaw could bend metal or tear off a human arm with high accuracy. Luckily, we don't have to worry about these situations. But let us tell you, if this fish were still here, they wouldn't have given a second thought before eating humans. After all, they are well known for not being a picky predator. Number 4. Dinosuchus. On number 4, we have Dinosuchus. This name means terrible crocodile, and guess what? We couldn't have thought of a better title. This ancient animal really lived up to its name. In fact, fossils of other animals such as dinosaurs and T-Rexes show teeth marks of Dinosuchus on their bodies. This suggests that these crocodiles were unlike the ones that exist now. They were powerful enough to battle with dinosaurs and wound them gravely. It grew to be 35 feet long and was discovered in North America. So what's interesting is that nowadays the crocodiles of that region are 1/4 the size of the Dinosuchus. So if you're scared of regular crocs, then this mega animal would have frozen you to death with just one glimpse. Besides that, escaping this animal would have been impossible. It's reported that despite its heavy weight, these crocs were quick to react and bite. Number 3. Ratzilla. Reaching the top positions on number 3, we have Ratzilla. Yes, the name is inspired by Godzilla, however, this is just a nickname that scientists love to use. The actual title of this creature is Phobioermus pattersoni, which is quite a mouthful. So let's stick with Ratzilla. Anyway, these rodents were the size of a bull. Fossils suggest that Ratzillas were 10 feet long and had a tail of an additional 5 feet long. They were herbivorous, but that doesn't make them any less scary. It is suggested that each of their teeth was at least a foot long. So if it decided to go on a rampage, this rat would have killed a human within just one bite. They also had massive hind limbs, which meant most of their weight was supported by the back. Number 2. Arcturus. On number 2, we have Arcturus. The name means short-faced bear, however, Arcturus was anything but short. If the size of a polar bear scares you, then think again. That is because Arcturus was 50% larger than them. Besides that, it also weighed 3 times more than the heaviest polar bear recorded. It is reported that this bear was merely 6 feet on 4 legs, which is the same as the average height of a human. But on 2 legs, Arcturus was as huge as 12 feet. Keep in mind that this is roughly an estimate. They could have very well been much taller too. They lived 11,000 years ago and were entirely carnivorous. It's believed that they required at least 40 pounds of meat every day. As the name suggests, they had a short face, but its teeth were very robust. The Arcturus could tear through the most robust human muscles with ease. They had long legs as well and could have chased you down very quickly. It's believed they ran at 40 miles per hour. That is faster than what most bears can achieve in this era. Before heading to number 1, here are some honorable mentions. Terror birds, giant centipedes, Megapiranha, Gigantopithecus. Number 1, Megalodon. On the top, we have the most nightmarish animal, the Megalodon. Are you scared of sharks? Do you find their size intimidating? Well, compared to the Megalodon, sharks are not as scary. This extinct predator makes even the great white shark look like a mere goldfish. They were about 60 feet long and had the most giant jawbone ever. Megalodon is also regarded as the most formidable carnivore on this planet. This gigantic shark beat all the other animals on the list in terms of properties. It's even longer than the Titanboa, which is the second longest animal on the list. Even the bite force of a megalodon is many times greater than other creatures like T-Rex, so scientists suggest that these sharks ate other marine animals like whales, dolphins, and large fish. Fossils of many aquatic animals provide evidence of this. We may not have a skeleton of this animal, but scientists have already figured out its size. According to them, Megalodon was the greatest shark and the biggest fish that ever lived. Even the tooth of the shark is larger than the human hand. If you like this video and you want to get notified for all our future videos, then subscribe to our channel and hit the little bell icon so you will never miss a video update from us ever again.